What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the World According to Briggs and another video about decent places you could buy a home for under $200,000. I say decent because all the places on this list have a good livability score and a median home value of under $200,000. In case you haven't watched these videos before, livability score is given to a city, state, or town when they look at all their stats like crime, schools, traffic, weather, cost of living, a few other things. They put it all together and they come up with a livability score. In my experience, anything above 65 is an okay place to live. When you start getting above the 80s and into the 90s, it's an outstanding place to live. The other thing on this list is the median home value, and that's how we rank these towns. Median home value is really just a stat for real estate people to give them an idea of what home prices are in an area. It's kind of unrealistic. So we rank them by that, but I will give you what you're really looking at for a decent home and for a fixer-upper in this area. Today we're looking at the Sunshine State, Florida. Like I've said before, Florida is a great state, and it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in the United States. The two main reasons for tourists to come here are the beaches and Orlando. Beaches are great, it's just too bad that if you go 10 miles inland, most of the time it gets really backwoods. It gets really backwoods, like wrestle alligators and take your first cousin on a romantic date backwards. Yeah, that bad. Okay, so watch to the end and let us know which one you'd move to. All right, let's see what we found. Number 10, Palm Harbor, Florida. Palm Harbor is a census-designated place, so it's really not a town. It's just there on the Gulf Coast, in the Tampa area just north of Clearwater, Florida, with 60,000 residents. Palm Harbor was originally called Sutherland. That was the shortening of Southern Land and Development Company. These are the people that originally planned to develop the area. Everything about this place is kind of average, like crime, cost of living, employment, but schools are outstanding statistically. So much so, I think that helps them bring up their livability score to 85. That's really good. The median home value here is $178,000. But realistically, a fixer-upper is going to run you about $135,000. You can get a home for $135,000 here. You're going to need to do some work. Probably landscaping, painting, maybe fix some windows, but it is doable here. If you want a nice home that's ready to move in, you're looking around $285,000 on up. Palm Harbor's not a bad place to live, especially with the Gulf right there. Not a bad place. Number 9, Ogis, Florida. Ogis is expensive when it comes to single homes, but this place is filled with condos and you aren't too far from the ocean or Miami, so it makes it worth it. They have a little over 18,000 residents and pretty good stats other than cost of living, and it's right next to one of the most expensive cities in the country, so that's kind of to be expected. Miami is pricey. The livability score here is 85, which again is outstanding. Here's the home prices, and it's not actual homes because those start at like $600,000. These are actual condos and apartments they sell. The median home value for the whole area is actually $157,300. But a fixer-upper condo, you're looking at about $110,000, which isn't bad. These are 1 and 2 bedroom condos. A nicer one's going to run you about $187,000. So that's not that bad being so close to Miami and being that close to the ocean. The only other thing they got bad besides cost of living was their employment, but there's a lot of retirees that live here, so the employment numbers are going to be kind of skewed. A lot of them aren't working. The unemployment got a D-. One cool thing about Ogis, they have a 103-year-old elementary school. Number 8, Seminole, Florida. Seminole is another city not too far from Tampa in the St. Petersburg metro area. They're actually south of number 10 on this list, Palm Harbor. This place is the same as a lot of the other places on this list. Condos, duplexes, and minutes from the beach. Seminole is a great place if you own a kayak or boat and like to fish. There's plenty of public boat launches. You can get out on the water. It is named Seminole, as in the Seminole Indians, so I wonder how long it'll be before the political correct Gestapo shows up and makes them change their Native American name. They do have a great livability score of 85, which is outstanding. There's just about 18,000 residents here, and the median home value is $154,400. Now, again, condos and duplexes, some homes are relatively cheap, but a fixer-upper you're looking at about $160,000. The nicer homes, you're looking at $325,000 and up, and you're not too far from the beach. It could be so much worse. It's on the Gulf side, so it's not as bad a weather, as you get on the Atlantic side. So yeah, this was also where my favorite World Wrestling Federation dude, he died here. Randy Savage died in 2011 in Seminole, Florida. It's actually WWE now. I always forget that. Number 7, Rockledge, Florida. Rockledge is a city southeast of Orlando on the Atlantic side. On the Indian River, why hasn't that been changed? Shouldn't it be the Indigenous People River? Rockledge was officially founded on August 7th, 1887, making it the oldest incorporated municipality in Brevard County. This place is not a bad place to live. Again, not too far from the ocean, but you're on the Indian River, and they've got a livability score of 89. Outstanding, Rockledge. Population, it's about 26,000 people, and the median home value is $150,100. Now, you can get a fixer-upper here. Again, a lot of condos, a lot of duplexes for $80,000. You're going to have to put some work into it, but you can get in someplace for $80,000. A nicer home, they start off around $225,000, but yeah, $80,000 you can get into something. Now, the only downside of this one is their employment isn't the best. They get D+. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. And this is actually where Scott Thompson was born. He's a comedian. Most of you know him as Carrot Top, and most of us would like to forget him. Number 6, Coconut Creek, Florida. Coconut Creek is small in area. It's only 12 square miles to be exact, but it has a bunch of people because of all the condos and apartments. Most are nice with some sort of water right outside the window in a lot of cases. Ponds, creeks, canals, or a lake. Something's there. There will be water a short walk from wherever you live in Coconut Creek, I'm sure. Don't let an alligator eat your dog. That happens far too often in Florida. I actually saw a video. I'd put it up there, but I want to get a copyright strike. But this guy had a puppy, older gentleman, like retirees, walking his dog. A small alligator jumps out and grabs his dog, goes back in the water. He followed the alligator back in, got his dog back. Great video. If you look it up, old man wrestles dog away from alligator, it's a great video. Still had a cigar in his mouth the whole time. Anyway, Coconut Creek has a livability score of 88. And like I said, they got a bunch of people. They got over 57,000, just about 58,000 residents. The median home value here is $150,100. A fixer-upper, you're looking at about $122,000. A nicer home starts off around $250,000 and up. Now, they do have single-family homes here for around the $200,000 area. So this isn't just all condos, but they do have a bunch. The only thing that really is a knock to this place, their unemployment. Again, a bunch of retirees live here, so their unemployment numbers are kind of low. They get a D. It's just 37 miles north of Miami, so it's not a bad place to live, and its nickname is the butterfly capital of the world because it's home to Butterfly World, the world's largest butterfly aviary, with over 80 species and 5,000 individual butterflies. If you're a big butterfly fan, this is the place to go. You know, I honestly don't think I've ever met someone that was like into butterflies. That seemed like it was a big thing back in the 50s and 60s. Then, you know, the butterfly trend just kind of faded away. It's weird. Number 5, Northport, Florida. Northport is a city located in Sarasota County, Florida, south of Tampa. Originally, it was called Northport Charlotte, but I guess since they're north of Port Charlotte, that's what they called themselves, Northport Charlotte. Seems reasonable. The residents weren't too keen on this, so in 1974, they changed the name to simply Northport. If you like warm weather and Atlanta Braves baseball, or whatever they'll have to change their name to eventually in the future, they do spring training here. They have a livability score of 85. There's a little over 60,000 people that live here, and the median home value is $147,100. Now, this place is pretty interesting. The houses are decent for the most part. A fixer-upper is going to be $127,000 on average, right around that area. But the nicer homes, and I mean decent homes, start off around $200,000, and they go up. They go up pretty good. But there is a whole bunch for the $200,000 to $220,000 area that are ready for you to move in right now. They don't do the best in cost of living. It's a little expensive. Of course, it's, you know, on pretty close to the ocean, so obviously they get a D for that, and unemployment's not the best, but again, we have a lot of retirees here, so that makes sense. It is home to Little Salt Springs. That's a place where a bunch of archaeologists and paleontologists from the University of Miami hang out, dig up bones and arrows from indigenous people, stuff like that. Number 4, Port Orange, Florida. And when you live close to the water, you get cities with names that have beach, bay, or port in them. That's just a fact of life. As proof, 2 cities in a row with port in it. Port Orange is a city that's south of Daytona in the Daytona metro area and is just north of the beach that holds the record for shark attacks in the world. Not just the United States. They have more shark attacks in New Smyrna Beach than any other place in the world. Over time, I should say. It's not like last year they set the record. This is over time. 1 out of every 20 shark attacks recorded has happened at New Smyrna Beach. Yeah, that's pretty scary. Port Orange was settled by John Milton Hawks. He brought freed slaves to work in a sawmill he had set up after the Civil War. Esther Hawks, his wife, established an integrated school in the area. Now, for the time, that was unheard of. The colony struggled soon after its creation, and most of the colonists, skipped town. This area became known as Freemanville, and it's a legacy to the settlers who stayed in the area. They were all freed slaves. The livability in Port Orange is 87, which is solid. That's a good number. The population around 60,000, and the median home value is $145,600. You can get a fixer-upper here, no kidding, for as low as $55,000. Yeah, the nicer homes start off around $220 and they go up, way up, but you can get a nice ready-to-move-in home here for about $220,000. Number 3, St. Cloud, Florida. St. Cloud is the first city on this list that is actually inland, just south of Orlando, and some of the best family fun in the country. You have Disney World, Universal, and SeaWorld up there, along with some other smaller theme parks. St. Cloud was founded as a retirement community for Union Civil War veterans and gained the nickname the Friendly Soldier City. If you're a Adam Sandler fan, this is where he filmed The Waterboy with Kathy Bates, Henry Winkler, and Fairuza Balk. Love her. This is not a bad place to live. They have a livability score of 88, population of just 44,198 people. The median home value here is only $132,900. That's not bad. This another place has dirt cheap fixer-uppers for $55,000. Nicer homes will start around $200,000. They don't have many jobs here, but it's a really good place to live. There's a lot of retirees living here, so that's probably, again, a lot to do with the unemployment numbers. Number 2, Timber Pines, Florida. Timber Pines is a gated community and census-designated place in Florida, west of Orlando on the Gulf Coast. Sort of. It's a little bit inland, but it's pretty close. This one's a little weird because it's a place filled with retirees. It's kind of an active retiree type place. It has a golf course and it's relatively inexpensive. That makes it even weirder. You know, when you have a gated community, it's supposed to be expensive. This place is not. They've dubbed themselves the best kept secret in Florida. Their stats are outstanding, other than employment, but again, it's to be expected because of all the retirees. Their livability score is 87. Outstanding. They have almost 6,000 residents. The median home value is about $132,000. A fixer-upper here is going to run you $150,000, and their fixer-uppers are not bad. Not bad at all. A nicer home will start off around $210,000. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what we're doing here. Be part of our community. It is very appreciated. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Lady Lake, Florida. Lady Lake is a town in Lake County. The population was 13,926 at the 2010 census, and it's estimated that they gained about 3,000 in the last decade. We'll find out when the 2020 census is done. This is a great place to live. Have very little negatives. I mean, on February 2nd, 2007, the town was hit pretty hard by a tornado that killed 8 residents. Other than that, this is a great place to live. You're an hour from Orlando in case you're jonesing for some entertainment, and an hour and a half from New Smyrna Beach in case you're jonesing to get bit by a shark. You got the best of both worlds here. They have a livability score of 85. The median home value here is only $129,100. Now here's the reality of it. A fixer-upper in Lady Lake can be as low as $80,000. They might need a little work. There are some older homes here, but it's still doable for $80,000. Nicer homes start off around $130,000 to $150,000, somewhere in that area. And again, like everything else that has been on this list, everything is great, but employment, they get a D+. This isn't a retirement community as much, so that's their only knock. This is a legit, low unemployment score. They also got this really neat miniature railroad historical society museum thing. It's pretty neat if you ever get a chance to go there. All right, that is today's list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Let us know in the comment section which was your favorite place. Where would you move to and why? All right, everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.